What is this guy? Grouping. How do I know it's grouping?
Because there's 4.
Because there's 4 terms. So first 2, there's a minus sign. So when I put my parentheses, that plus changes to a negative. So greatest common factor is x squared, x minus 2, minus 1, because there's nothing else that they have in common, x minus 2 equals 0. Greatest common factor is x minus 2 times, and once I take the x minus 2 out, I'm left with x squared minus 1 equals 0. Two things multiplied together, x minus 2 equals 0, x squared minus 1 equals 0. Well, this is easy enough. X equals 2. Now, here's the question. X squared minus 1. Am I done?
No.
No. What is he?
Difference of squares.
So this guy is the difference of squares. I could have done him up top, but I needed to make a point. So this is x minus 1, x plus 1. So x minus 1 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0. X is 1, x is negative 1, and x is 2. So yeah, I've got 3 places that the product is 0. It's cubic. The highest power is 3. So I'll have a maximum, and you'll see this in college algebra, you'll have a maximum of 3 answers. You could have fewer than 3, but you have a maximum of 3. And here's your favorite problem. What am I going to need to do? Because this certainly is not working.
Greatest common factor is my guess.
There's no GCF.
Oh yeah, there's
Take
no.
out the denominator.
Clear the denominator. What would I do? Multiply by what?
4.
4. Because does the 4 kill 4?
Yeah.
And does 4 kill 2?
Yes.
Because 4 is 2 times 2, right? So left-hand side, right-hand side, multiply the left-hand side by 4 over 1, the right-hand side by 4 over 1. So this becomes x squared over 4, 4 over 1. This is what chapter 6 is going to be all about, fractions. Minus 4 over 1 times, that's why these 2 chapters are so difficult, plus 4 over 1 times 6 equals 4 over 1 times 0 is 0. Now what you notice is 4's reduce out. That gives me an x squared minus 2 divides 4 once, or 2 divides 2 once, divides 4 twice. Excuse me. This is 2 times 5x plus 4 times 6 equals 0. Now I'm putting in a lot of steps you might not put in. This is x squared minus 10x plus 24 equals 0. So now you factor. I need 2 numbers which when multiplied together give me 24, but add, because this is plus, they add together to give me 10. What are the 2 numbers?
6 and 4.
6 and 4. So x, 6, x, 4. Their signs are the same, and the middle sign is minus, so they're both minus. Now I have 2 things multiplied together. So the x minus 6 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, x equals 6, x equals 4. And there you are. All the steps. Yes.
Why can't you use 12 and 2?
Is 12 plus 2 10?
No.
See, they have to add together because this is a plus 24,
Oh.
so the two numbers add. If that's were minus 24, you'd use 12 and 2, so you're right about the 12 and the 2. But it's a plus 24. So they have to add together to give me 10, yes.
Can you scroll to the other one really quick?
Last problem. It said equal to 0, so we're home free on that. There are no fractions, woohoo.
But there is a greatest common factor
Of what?
of
5
5x
and-
squared.
5x squared. Well, this is going to give me an x squared minus 4. Am I done?
No.
No. What's this guy?
Difference of squares.
Difference of squares. You're going to see that a lot. So this is x and 2. So this is 5x squared times x minus 2 times x plus 2 equals 0. Now we have a bunch of stuff that equals 0. Now here's where you guys get a little bit confused. I have a 5, I have an x squared, I have an x minus 2 and an x plus 4.
Isn't that plus 2?
Oh, plus 2. I already moved on. X minus 2, x plus 2. So, the question is 5 ever equal to 0? No. So that constant has 0 meaning at all, because it's never 0. X squared equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0. If x squared equals 0, what's x?
Zero.
0.
0.
Yeah.
And if x minus 2 equals 0, what's x?
Positive 2.
And if x plus 2 equals 0, what's x?
Negative.
Negative 2. And when you're dealing with x squared equals 0, that's really saying x times x equals 0. Right? So that means x equals 0, x equals 0. So essentially you can't get more 0 than that. Now in college algebra, we would write x equals 0 and then we would write the words multiplicity 2. Multiplicity 2 means it happens twice. But you only need to write it once. So for you, if you wanted to write x equals 0, you could, or just x equals 0.
But then you would have to write multiplicity.
No, you would just write x equals 0, because we don't do multiplicities in this class.
Oh.
But in college algebra, the fact that you've got x equals 0 twice actually has some meaning.
Oh.